My name is Ed Seay, and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Loud Recording Masterphonics Curb Productions complex here. I'm a recording engineer producer. I think the first record that I really remember making an impact on me was Del Shannon's Runaway. And it killed me because it sounded great in every way, real exciting, and had interesting sounds to it. And I was too young to even know why this sounded cool. Kind of ironically, I wound up working with Del way after the fact. He was sort of a rough-edged country thing for Warner Brothers. And so we wound up tracking some stuff on Del. And of course, there's a term here, I don't know if it's a universal term, but it's a Nashville term called germ. Like, well, I germed him, and I try not to do that, but I did have to germ Del. And I said, Del, loved, your records. Hats off to Larry, but especially Runaway. What was that keyboard thing? And so he told me the background on that synthesizer part and the little electronic keyboard thing that they were doing. It wasn't a synthesizer, but he was a good guy. He was very, very intense about his music. He wasn't clowning around in the studio, but it was just, record was such an inspiration because it sounded so much more vital than, to me, so many of the other things did. First live show definitely was the Beach Boys in Atlanta. I think the single they were promoting at the time was California Girls. I don't even remember them having monitors. I mean, I couldn't see any monitors. Maybe they did, but it was just the guys up there, It was just great to really see guys sing and play like that, that I'd heard them on the radio and all. And kind of full circle, I wound up working with them. They were my heroes too, I had three heroes: Beatles, Beach Boys, and Byrds, the three Bs, And I got to work with the Byrds, and I got to work with the Beach Boys. It was during the later '90s, and they were in town, and a friend of mine was friends with Bruce, and so they were finishing up a session. We went over and got them to sing on our stuff, and it was basically the full lineup. Carl was still alive, and Brian was there, and Al and Bruce, and it was really cool. And I couldn't germ them. I couldn't do it, But we did sit around and talk a lot, and that was definitely a high point. I was in a band in the mid '60s, I guess. We had a band in Atlanta. I started in Marietta, Georgia, and Atlanta, Georgia, before I moved up here in '84. So in Atlanta, I think I was still in high school, and we had a band. It was a great band. It was called the Nine Lives in the Funky Soul Train, and we had three fabulous black singers, and then we had a full rhythm section, guitar, bass, drums, keys, and in that band I was playing trombone, so we had a 5-piece horn section, and we were killing it. We were Four Tops and Temptations and Chuck Jackson and a lot of all the cool stuff. So we had a hey, let's make a record moment, So we went down to a big studio in Atlanta and set up and recorded like 4 things or 5 things, and the control room was way over there in the studio, way on the other side of the studio, and we didn't ask, and we weren't invited into the control room, but we would hear it back, and it was like, wow, really good, this sounds great. I mean, because it was a pro setup. I mean, I think it was Lefevre Sound, and it was Mylon and Maurice's, I don't know if it was their father or their studio or something, but so it was incredible. That was it. That probably kind of gave me the bug a little bit,